Let us watch this video together. Of course, this American you are seeing on the screen. This is a man who have asked the man Tinubu to enter into a deal with Donald Trump, talking about the president of the United States of America. As you have it, this is sequel to allegation of genocide against Christians in Nigeria. Remember that before now, we had a situation where a senator from America, talking about Ted Cruz, presented a bill before American Senate, asking that Nigeria be designated as a country of particular concern. And we understand that Nigeria was in that category in the past, before a former president of America, Joe Biden, removed Nigeria from that category. But to have it, we have seen so many developments in Nigeria here. I will allow you to listen to the man shortly, but let me tell you that Nigerian Senate already constituted a committee to actually investigate that. Have a session where in one of the presidential aides talking about that Ebola was in, of course, France media, trying to debunk some issues which he considered was wrong. This time around, this American is directly talking to the man, Tinubu, that the truth is gradually coming out, that the best he could do under the circumstance is to enter into deal with Donald Trump. We understand that, according to him, that Donald Trump is someone that likes this. And we saw conversation between Trump and Zelensky in trying to resolve the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And in that conversation, Trump was emphatic that America is interested in, of course, Ukraine rare earths. We understand that rare earth is natural resources, of course, solid natural resources that is used for renewable energy, like electric vehicles, batteries, and all of that. And as we have it, Nigeria is equally rich in some level of rare earths. And this American have equally alluded to the fact that America should have some level of access to manage Nigeria resources. But yet to be seen whether Donald Trump himself will accept a deal with Nigerian government or not. But we understand that Donald Trump is someone that likes deal, particularly if it will help America to gain access to some level of solid minerals that will help in their own economy. But as we have it, let me quickly allow you to listen to the man, because we are furthering this conversation after you hear from him. But just hear from him directly as we come back to further this conversation.
This is for President Tinubu. I have an idea for you, sir. The truth's coming out about the U.S. involvement in the launching and fueling and hiding of the whole humanitarian crisis driven by Boko Haram and other groups. But here's the deal. You have a deal maker in the White House now, and a man who's really trying to do good and right the wrongs of this country. I know the average Nigerian street vendor is a better deal maker than most Americans, but Donald Trump's a good one. And here's what I would propose you do. First, come out, expose everything you know about this to the light. And then make a proposal to Donald Trump. Say, sir, y'all did this, we will forgive you, but you need to come and help us fix it. Call on the U.S. to drive out all the insurgents, bring justice, resettle and protect the IDPs, bring restoration and justice. The United States, working with you, can do this, and we can do it rapidly. And then, two, put in safeguards to ensure that Nigeria's autonomy is always protected and respected. Nigerians, left to their own devices, can do wonderful things and build a great nation. It's a lot of the foreign meddling that causes these problems. Let's put an end to that. You and Donald Trump can do that. And finally, let the United States have first shot at your minerals, but do it in a way that's guaranteed to be clean and above board, corruption-free, and the benefits of it go directly to the community and not to the corrupt few. Donald Trump is a deal maker, and that's a good deal for you, and it's a good deal for us. I would encourage you to reach out to him and do it. We can fix this together.
So how about that for him? What do you make of his position? One, well, personally, I know that human being is interest-oriented by nature. And I know that, secondly, America has what it takes to address the insecurity we have in the part of the country. Talking about the Fulani militias, talking about the killing of Nigerians. But let me quickly at this point say that no matter what is anyone's faith, whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're an idol worshiper, it behoves on government to protect lives and properties of Nigerians, irrespective of your faith. Because the government, the governor of a state, the president of the country is the president of every faith. The governor of a state is the governor of every faith. So it behoves on the president to protect lives and properties of every Nigerian. And I believe that that is what the government does. But the question here is, should American government be allowed to come and help fight this level of insecurity weakness here? I want to say that if we can have a good deal with American government, I must say that it's not a bad one. I say it particularly because I've seen recently when a former House of Assembly member from Borno State will come out to clarify or rather reveal that when a Jonathan government postponed election in 2015 for about 2 weeks and brought in machineries, that the then government were doing excellently well in terms of decimating Boko Haram, fighting insurgents. Because according to him, the then government brought in machineries, of course foreigners, who were leveraging on technology to decimate Boko Haram. And according to him, they were going for precision bombing, and they will come back with evidence of before the bombing and after the bombing. And they were doing excellently well. So it's going to show that there's a whole lot of achievement we could get if we partner with our foreign partners who are the competence, the capacity to address this insecurity. Because I must say that the current situation where we see or read on daily basis, see video evidences, how some locals and even state governments reportedly negotiate with bandits, I must say it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable because that negotiation, that peace deal is not sustainable. It's not sustainable because at some point, those bandits, when they feel dissatisfied with whatever terms of agreement you enter into with them, will definitely come back to start wreaking havoc. Just as we saw the one that happened in Zamfara State, where it was reported that after a peace deal got broken down, the bandits came back to start abducting, and this time around, even in the mosque. So it's going to show that at some point, if we need collaboration with our foreign partner, I know that America has been a long ally of Nigeria. So if we understand that even the 12 Tucano jets we got under Muhammadu Buhari, of course, we got it from the United States of America. So what I'm saying is, if we have a favorable condition, a deal with American government that will help to address this insecurity, I must say it's not a bad idea. However, the buck rests with Mr. President, talking about Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is the president and the commander of the armed forces in Nigeria currently. But I want to say that the life and the safety of lives and properties of Nigerians in Nigeria is paramount, and that the president should always give it a paramount attention, because as we have it, the constitution is very clear, talking about section 14, section 2B of 1999 constitution as amended, that the welfare of the people and their security shall be the primary purpose of governance. So if actually the constitution recognizes that, it means once there is failure in addressing the welfare of the people and their security, it means the government have failed woefully. There's no argument about that. Hence, the constitution is clear about what shall constitute the primary purpose of governance. Let me say that the governors, because personally I've been a very strong advocate, that the governors should not just be going by the name of the governors and the chief security officers of their respective states, but rather that they should be given some level of security power to parade, so that when we want to apportion blame, we can know where to put the blame appropriately. Because each time you tend to blame the governors for their inability to address the level of insecurity in their respective states, they quickly remind you that they do not command the security architecture in their respective states. Because we understand that as it stands currently, the commissioner of police in the state is not answerable to the governor in that state. The director of DSS in the state is not answerable to the governor of the state. All the other security heads are not answerable to the governor of the state. Rather, the commissioner of police is answerable to the IG, who is in Abuja. The director of DSS in the state is answerable to the director general of DSS, who is in Abuja. And all the security in the state, or rather at the state level, as as they're answerable to their bosses at the headquarters, though their bosses, like the chief of army staff, chief of defense staff, chief of naval staff, name it, they are all answerable to the national security advisor, who in turn report to Mr. President. Of course, we understand that the president is the commander, is the president and the commander of the armed forces. I'm not saying we should jettison that arrangement, but the question is, we can have state police side by side with what is happening at the federal level. I'm particularly interested in the Forest Guard initiative of federal government, because I want to believe that this has come to even give the state governors some level of power to power in terms of security. Because even the president himself, talking about Senator Tinubu, recently came out clearly to say that the forest guards will be empowered. So what else is the governors waiting for to key into this Forest Guard initiative with the speed of light? Well, we understand that the state governors have gotten nod from federal government to engage between 2,000 and 5,000 personnel, depending on their financial capacity to pay. And I understand that Tinubu have since started the process of engaging forest guards. But another issue is, state governors have alluded to the fact that they now get more money from FAC, sequel to policies of government that now gives them more money. Talking about the subsidy on gasoline and the unification of efforts at the official window. But we understand that those two policies earns the government additional 8 trillion naira at the end of the year. So the question is, if the state government, the local government now get more money as a result of those policies, it's going to show that the money to address the security at their level is no longer a challenge. So the question is, why are states like Zamfara State, Katsina State, Benue State, Plateau State, Kwara State, even Kaduna State, because of Santa Kaduna, why are they not jumping at this offer or opportunity of forest guard with speed of light? Because personally, I'm of the view that they should jump at it with a speed of light. Because I must say that the protection of lives and property of Nigerians is paramount. Life is sacrosanct as far as I'm concerned, because as human, we don't have what it takes to create life. It only takes the grace of life. It only takes the grace of God to bring anyone who have died back to life. And in most cases, it's always on exceptional cases when God wants to prove a point. Because we understand that God has all power. With God, nothing shall be possible. There's no argument about that. But God will only do it when he wants to do it. God only does it in exceptional cases. That is why, as people, as government, we must do everything humanly possible within the ambits of the law to protect lives and property. More so, as the constitution has given the governors, the local government chairman, and even Mr. President, the responsibility to protect lives and property. I must say that the situation coming from Kwara State is worrisome. Looking at and seeing some video that go viral where communities are sacked, where people are even evicted from their ancestral homes. I must say it's not acceptable. That the only thing that is acceptable now is for government at all levels to collaborate, to synergize collectively, to possess monopoly of currency power, to start going ahead, to smoke the bandits out of the hiding places, set their running and bring them to justice. I quite understand, agree with some school of thought that talk about the Nigerian put-up borders. But I want to say that even as we have put-up borders, that is not an excuse for the level of inflation we are seeing. Because we have a government in place that sworn an oath to protect lives and property of Nigerians. The best they could do is to leverage on technology, acquire coercive power to address it. Because Nigerians are not willing and ready to take excuses, because life is very important. But let me say a very big thank you for your time. This is Settler Media and I'm Samatu. We hope to further this conversation, as to have it is a developing issue that cannot be emphasized. But for now, I must say a very big thank you for your time. This is Settler Media and I'm Samatu.